Hello, everybody. Today we will have a webinar on the topic of business agility and innovation and change as a special interest group in IPMA. Just to give you a heads up about what is business agility, it refers to distinct qualities that allow organization to respond rapidly to changes, both in internal and in external environment without losing the core business focus. Main core and most essential qualities in business agilities are adaptability, flexibility, balance, and ambiguity. We will approach business agility from different directions, like agile culture, agile leadership, agile strategy, agile governance, and agile people. While having this intro, I see that you are coming to the webinar. Now we have more than 10 people. So, as you know, my name is Ina Ivekovic, and I'm Global Head for Business Agility. And here we also have Krešo Župan, who is expert in Agile Change Management. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, the ability to adopt and respond to change is not just a competitive advantage, it is necessity. Today, we will share with you an insightful webinar on Agile Change Management, where we explore how Agile principles can transform the way organizations manage and lead the change. Whether you're guiding teams through digital transformation, shifting organizational culture, responding to market demands, Agile Change Management offers a flexible, people-centered approach that drives sustainable results and, of course, gives success to the company. In this session, industry expert Krešo Župan will share with you practical strategies, real-world experience, and proven techniques for implementing agile changes, frameworks that foster collaboration, resilience, and continuous improvement in various industries he was working with. Also, Q&A session is you can put your Q&A in a chat box, and we will answer all your questions at the end. For this webinar, you will also receive digital badge from IPMA with points. Now let me give a floor to Krešo, and Krešo will some more words about himself and what he will present to you today. So Krešo, here you go.
Thank you, Ina. High expectations you set. Thank you for setting the bar so high. So my name is Krešo Župan. I'm change manager, so business process manager, change manager, project lead, strategy manager. Those are just some of the titles that I've carried it throughout my career. Currently, I'm managing changes in digital payment industry, especially in the IT operations and the setting up of development, DevOps processes, and IT change management process. So I say, as Ina said, I had quite a few years of experience. It shows on my beard and my grays. So and I've been running through a lot of industries through my personal and private and corporate life. So I've been doing the payments industry, the digital products, insurance, telco, automotive. So quite a few industries that are tackling that are facing the same challenges that Ina mentioned in the intro today. So while I was talking and preparing for this session, I was thinking about how to structure it for the professionals that I believe all of you are. So it's going to be a bit of theory. I'm going to run through some slides, and as Ina said, I'm going to share a couple of examples, maybe where change on the product actually is one thing huge thing that needs to be managed, and how what challenges lay ahead to implement this kind of any kind of approach to manage huge amount of changes in the product that needs to deliver in the end to the customers. So empowering innovation in dynamic industry. So my life has been dynamic, and I do not like boring stuff. So I was always engaged in something that was cutting edge in either technology or and this is what actually has driven me to the position where I am now. Innovative industries, like Ina said, are categorized by constant change. So keeping up with the changes is a struggle for everybody in each industry that you are currently working with. And flexible way to structure to manage flexibility. So it's like an oxymoron. Usually when I say it, I laugh because this is actually what you need. So you need a structure that is able to support all the changes that are going to happen around it, and all of your excuse me for this uh, all of the participants need to be rowing in the same direction, so in order for the change to be successful in the end. So this is what drives and what is the diversing factor between the companies that succeed in business and companies that fail. Agile change management is a topic. It's a huge topic, so it's really difficult to address. I'll try to cover some of the experiences that might be relevant for you guys as a project managers and the future leaders and strategists. So as Ina mentioned in the beginning, so change is happening everywhere, and it's happening at every level, and it's striking with the same force. So change, who doesn't like it, he's going to get hurt with the change. So agile change management is like in the integration of agile methodologies that have their roots in the development process of the IT, where flexibility, collaboration, and continuous improvement are keywords, or not just keywords, but the key pillars of the agile development. So what else is captured from the agile, from the IT and development world that seems to be working is the short cycling and engaging of the stakeholders or customers in the end early in the process while developing, and continuously keeping them in the loop to guide your product, your process, your company, your success in the right direction. So those pillars are actually the mandatory points. So those are sine qua non, the things that you cannot do, that you have to have in order to facilitate fast adoption and effective implementation. So this is, I guess, somewhat familiar to all of you. There are many different definitions of change management and agile, but I'm just rooting to the ones that are published on the Wikipedia and that has been widely and popularly available. So industries like fintech, automotive, telco, they're all experiencing really high technological advancements, and then the market really changes for all of them. There are a lot of mergers and new players that diversify, bring competitiveness, and create churn between the customers in all of the industries. So the companies that manage this change, that can pivot, and that can in the end produce products that someone wants to buy, are the ones that succeed, and that they need to do it quickly because somebody else is doing it already. Probably, if you're not quicker than them, then in the market, in the USA, they say you're dead. You're not moving, and you will just slowly feel how your customer base is deteriorating. But if you keep it lean and keep the change in using the innovative approaches and innovative things like thinking outside of the box and designing the processes around your product so that they fit and they also are compliant, can be and definitely are a competitive edge in dynamic environments. So from the beginning, I said structure for flexibility, or flexibility for structure. This is something that we're always struggling with while combating some of those topics of design and delivery of the products to the market. To effectively implement change management, so everything that has to be done. So this is what the Agile says: start small, scale, and fail fast. So start small. This means you take a chunk that your company, that you as a managers and you as product owners can digest. Do not take too much, because if you take too much, you might suffocate. Compile it into something that's like that's in the IT world, it's called sprints. So like short dashes of deliveries that actually produce some sort of value or show the value to the customer that is engaged in the agile development process. This, as I said, is definitely needs to involve all of the stakeholders early and consistently throughout the process to get the correct feedback and correct steering about your product, because the customer or your ordering party usually in the beginning does not even know what it wants. You as a product designers and developers, you should always think about what actually will fit the customer's need, and will it also fit their budget. So for instance, the guy needs to, this is the usual example that is shared on the training. So the man comes to the office and said, I want to go from place A to place B in, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then they start designing the car. The team starts to design a car that's really fast, and it has to reach this 5 minutes. Says, no, this is not really, this is too expensive for me. The car, maybe I was thinking something that if I can do this something like ecological, like you're driving a bike. In the end, the team developed a bike that was electrical, or showed or shared the information about the electrical bike for the customer that fit his needs, might not be meet his main KPI that he was really stressing about, 5 minutes from my home to my work. He got in the end probably in 15 minutes due to the not being in the traffic jams, and he was also being so also his other needs were being completed, like the his ecological sense and whatever. So talk to the customers, talk to the people that you are surrounded, get their feedback, and implement this feedback as quickly as you can into the process, just to see if it works. What else is really important with the agile development is that the agile development, as you said, are split into the sprints. Those sprints usually produce some kind of value. I also said it in the beginning. This has to be really in mind of the teams planning on the sprints and planning on what's going to be shown on those meetings. So while requesting a customer, you have to show him something that he can actually comment. And this is up to the team to deliver the product up to speed and in real time, and also then the engaged people from the management or from the ordering parties are able to communicate real time feedback and help the team align and adapt strategies if needed. Benefits. So if you have any questions, I failed to say it, so maybe I told it already. Just share the questions in the chat. We'll try to address them at the end of the meeting. I'm happy to answer all the questions related to the topic. Benefits. So we're talking about, so those are some of the principles that we were mentioning, and these principles are kind of common sense to everybody that tries to work in any kind of company. But what are actually the benefits that you can expect while improving or using the agile approach in delivering your products to the market quickly? So faster response to the market is the first thing that everybody wants to, that everybody is saying and bragging about. So this is also my experience. So at least 30% gain in the time to market was achieved across all of the projects that I was involved in. This is like a minimum. Some project that got stuck in the waterfall, deciding and ping-ponging areas were moved like lightnings, and it's uncomparable to the classical and traditional approach of developing projects. Market, as we are now, we are all part of this and being part of the testing family, starting from Windows 3.11 to Windows 11, that is the current version. All the word processing stuff We are already we get when we were used to getting the product semi-finished. Facebook was semi-finished when it was released and launched in 2009. Google 2006, if you see how it looks and compare it to now, those are two totally different things. But what has driven the Google and the Microsoft and Facebook and all of the companies to the direction and to the position in the market where they are is their responsiveness to changes. And this is definitely been fostered, and it comes from the startup mindset, where everybody is sort of has to take care of everything in those fast growing companies, and then people usually. The smart people grow through two heads. So one is thinking like a finance guy, while the other is thinking like a developer guy. The other heads are thinking like the marketing and sales and then supply chain and whatever not that needs to be addressed. So this is actually to the leadership to organize and to let people see that even the leadership, although it may seem heterogeneous, is actually homogeneous in the idea of delivering the company strategy and delivering the requirements to be in the position in the market where they are. So faster response to the market changes is actually something that is happening all over the place. So if you watch the news or hear the news, you are probably hearing that, for instance, 2 weeks ago or this week was it? Tesla has launched their robot taxis, for instance, a game changer. They were announcing it for I don't know, 3 years. They were talking about it, and they were big plans, and the market said it's all priced in. We are planning that they're going to deliver. So it took them 3 years in delays, and the people are still not happy with the with the product that they got after so much struggle and so much iterative work and so much. Um, Brain power being employed in this area. While you have this other ugly one, the Waymo, which is the Google one, which looks like I don't know, like my kid drew it when he was 5, and it's actually already there in San Francisco for quite some time, and people are getting the good feedback, and it's improving. So this is if I were a company like a company the company in Croatia that is developing electrical robot taxis, I would be kind of worried about what's gonna happen and where we are with my product. So some quick changes need to be done, or some changes are already introduced. But it's the responsibility of the strategy team and the leadership team to produce solutions for the teams that need to follow them in achieving the objectives. Improve team collaboration and morale. So this is the usual one. So when you try to introduce some kind of change, you usually have people that want to change and people who don't want to change, depending on the industry that you are working in. You have different flexibilities of the people. So, for instance, the IT payment industry, there's actually industry of the people that are kind of my age. They're not young, and they do not like to change. But I believe this is like the core of this industry, because we are dealing with the money, so we want to be reliable. We want to have people who are knowledgeable about the things. So this is actually why we are employing this kind of know-how and the calmness and skills for the jobs. But for instance, in the other companies, you have younger people who are maybe they say they are used to change, but I believe they're not even aware what they're talking about. So they're not aware what the change actually is, and they approach the change like I don't know, changing the channel on the TV or switching to the new feed in the Instagram. Maybe. So I'm old school. But we have to appreciate and deal with people with all of the genders, all of the ages, and include them in the change, because the young people bring, as I said, energy, and the old people bring expertise and the calmness and in delivering the strategy. Both of the qualities, I believe, are essential to deliver on any kind of change. While fostering this openness and communication and shared objectives as I said, from the top to the bottom, everybody's know what we are here for and what we need to achieve. People get engaged and people feel comfortable in the change because they are really close to it and know what's how it is going to affect them. In fact, they can if they can speak up and if they can raise their voice, they will feel even more appreciated when the change comes to the market. So basically, the teams that have high morale and that are collaborating are definitely key to success, or a definite benefit that will come out of Agile implementation of Agile and any kind of Agile change management. Continuous improvement and learning. So this is really a hot and topic of this. I don't know from the 2000s. I guess it's really been around the globe. So it started uh, really small. Sometime in continuous improvement, it started with the Toyota and Mr. Toyoda, who introduced the total management system. So, and then. And it was through industry translated to Ford system, and then it got the system of continuous improvement and learning, not to do mistakes again. This is definitely one of the biggest benefits that the company or a person involved in change can have. In the organizations and teams that are especially dealing with innovation, people need to be able to explore. There is this saying that you have to be safe to fail. So all of the problems and all of the issues that you can maybe avoid later, it's better to experience them early on because the message or errors or and corrections that need to be done early in the process are quite beneficial when you get to deployment, and the scale of the delivery of the project hits you with a price. So that you have to go back to the drawing board, for instance, that your product cannot be even shipped or delivered, or that your packaging is outside of prescribed regulation, etc., etc. So a lot of things need to be taken care of while developing the product. And also note, as we are talking about the agile teams, so this is not responsibility usually of one person. So everybody and cannot be responsibility of one person. So everybody needs to be aware of the impact to the change and remind me when I'll try to remind myself when I talk about this while I'm talking about one of my nicest projects that I was working with the guys really dealing with a huge amount of change and the continuous improvement in their daily jobs. So those things usually add up to the competitive advantage. So teams that are used to change, teams that are used to manage change, and that can avoid extra special risks and avoid failures and incidents in their development process, usually deliver products cheaper. And this is all we're talking about, actually, the money that's being spent and the value that's being delivered according to the strategic goals. So basically, when you think of a company or action company or whatever stock company, somebody has given the management the money and the mandate to deliver on the promise of margins and the money in the end. In order to be able to deliver to the margins and to the numbers that board promised, the customer value should be appreciated, and the customer is the only guy in the company in the world that actually can fire everybody. So the customer is really needs to be taken into consideration when thinking about what value are we delivering for the customer and what value actually the customer is going to think about while paying and continuing to use our services. Building an agile culture. I do not see any feedback, Ina. Am I talking too fast? Just guide me. Is it fine? If you can
Okay,
want
so
me,
you're doing just fine. So we are
we are on
middle
track, I know. So
of our
we
webinar.
can.
So please continue in the same pace. And as Kresho mentioned, we will keep Q&A for the end. So
Yes.
please continue.
Okay. Thank you. Building an agile culture. This is usually a tricky one. So it seems really easy. But in the end, um, people are afraid of failing. So my first encounter with the agile was actually in this company that I'm now working with, and it was we were really ambitious. Like 10, 11 years ago, we wanted to deliver a project according to the agile because it was buzzword, and we wanted to do this. Um, in an industry that is known for its stability and for the conservative approach, like I said, so we were waterfall all the way, plans, risks, data plans, schedules, etc. This is the environment that we have been working with. And we started first time. Of course, we failed. Yeah, we started with with the project that was kind of the new one. We wanted to insource and to include a new customer to our system. Usually, this project takes from 2 to 5 years from the scoping, designing, testing, developing, testing, and then deploying. So between 3 to 5, I have not seen any project. I have not seen any project finished before 5 actually. So, but the industry standard says 3 to 5 years to implement a project. And we were hoping, yeah, we're going to do this like one one project that is actually going to deliver all of the releases of all of the problems. Oh, we're going to be cheaper, we're going to be faster, the customer is going to love us. We're going to do all the activities like the ceremonies. We're going to include all of the guys from our product. And when we started to talk with the customer said no. The customer said no. We are actually waterfall. We need to respond to the central bank, and we cannot rely on your flimsy plans that you will probably be able to deliver 70% of the product in the design time. So it was destined to fail. But this is like a funny story from the adaptability is what we learned from this experience is that yeah, it might be good for you, but is it actually good for the customer? And how will market react? And what is the environment actually that you are talking about? So at this time we were aware of our environment in the financial sector, but we wanted to expand and wanted to go to the retail. And this, while traversing or moving or pivoting to retail in the next 5 to 10 years, we captured all of the feeling, all of the experiences, and all of the bad things that happened with this customer, with this project, and trying to avoid it in our next try. So adaptability to anything around it. It is likely crucial in the agile and the change world. I've had during the COVID, which was a really fun time for everybody, I believe. During the COVID, I had a team of developers that were sitting in Denmark and were developing something for my team in Croatia. They decided to go home, and then they weren't allowed back in Denmark. Then the whole team of 15 developer peoples uh, were actually prohibited to enter the Danish space due to the COVID, due to the visa system. And my team from 15 people, which I was comfortable, scared a bit about delivering on the end goal, came down to one. So people disappeared. So it was me and my one-man army, as we used to joke and fun and make fun about. We took a time, and he was really experienced, and I was really handy on the management and administrative stuff and the security stuff that we needed to solve and deal. And actually, we were able to deliver even more than was expected for us. Not by one, but by 5 times more. Uh, and we needed to adapt. So it was really. So when thinking about, okay, you have a plan that sort of is, you sort of believe in it, and then like 80% of your budget or 80% of your people just disappears. And you still have to build the product and have to be able to deliver on the promise. So fostering the data adaptability. So my manager was really calm about it. This is what I have to be saying, well, grateful about it. That he was really said, okay, this is really a problem. So how I don't know how to deal with it. Can you try from your side, and I'll try from my side. And this failure in the beginning, which seemed like a failure, ended up in being the success story of the COVID in the company. Which is why adaptability in any sense, in any level of the company is crucial for the survivability of the company. So if you want to respond, if you want to survive, you need to be adaptable. This is also what nature is teaching us. Uh, Encouraging teamwork is it's sort of like a mandate. It's sort of like written in stone when talking about the agile culture and the methodologies. So cross-functional teams and the implementation of cross-functional teams usually are around having people with the same interest but with different backgrounds and different set of skills that are complementary and in this way you're well combining them in a initially unseemably impossible teams. You can combine them and you get the benefit of diversity. You get the huge benefit of different opinions that need to be communicated. And when you communicate, you're opening yourself and then really tearing down the silos that get built during the development of any company. So any company that says we are not siloed, I know they're definitely siloed, and then no, I need to approach the topic really careful. Encouraging teamwork. I mean, I'll try to use the words of one of my Italian managers when he was talking about on one of the all hands meetings. So he said he asked the audience, "Do you know what is the origin of the word company?" So nobody, of course, knew or raised the hand at least to share this info. He said comun pane, comun pania. So that was an Italian word that says that used to be that got that got invented during the caravans. So the guys that were trading using the trade routes and they were traveling together for the safety. They were sharing bread. So comun pane means Italian, those common bread, and this is actually why the company is the common bread and should be the common bread for the people that are working in the company, and this is the way that this is the mindset that everybody in the company should have to. In order for the company to be successful, we have to have teamwork, and the bread and the food that we bring to the table for our families is definitely one thing that is connecting us. It should connect us. So supporting continuous learning. There are many certification programs that are available for guys or participants of the agile want to transition to the agile management. ITMA Agile is provisioning a lot of skill sets and frameworks that are readily available for the courses that probably I shouldn't be talking about. This is not sales, definitely. So not to be. This is just my experience. So using some kind of not some kind of using certification and using the standards in learning and sharing knowledge inside of the company is actually the most beneficial thing, because in the end you will all be speaking the same language, you will all be using the same abbreviations, you will all be knowing, you will be quicker in understanding each other and reaching to the same levels of comprehension of the problem, so you can move it forward. So continuous learning, like skills, I got some certifications that I'm proud of actually. Most of the certifications that I got are the ones that are for instance from the shop floor or from the management or from the actual seeing the people use my product and use my process, that are happy about it, or at least not so frustrated as they were as they were before. Continuous learning, and I encourage you all to take this path. It's been long said that forever learning or learning doesn't end while after the school. So, in my opinion, this is actually the time that you start learning while you take your first steps in the business, and then see what you're missing and see the areas that you need to improve. Uh, be open about it. Be open to yourself. Be open to the team, and allow the team to, if you're managing teams, to make errors, but make them learn from the errors, and make those errors not like finger pointing ones, but the ones that were challenges that people in the end surpassed and chewed through and survived in the end. Yeah. How it works in the real world? Yay, we are what, somewhere in the half. So this is also somewhere in the half of my presentation. So I'm going to be mentioning actually two examples. One of the examples that I already touched. It was one will be in the automotive industry, and the other one will be in the IT industry. So fintech. So what I found out, some of the things that you hear on all of the webinars and the trainings may seem familiar, or I already know this, but I already have been through this. But if somebody puts it on the paper and has some structure around it, you see that actually you're maybe doing it already, but you don't know how to call what your what your activity is being and what your activity is about. So you might already be agile and you're not even aware of it. So my experience with the continuous integration, continuous delivery, CI/CD, which is one of the major buzzwords in the IT development world, where teams from Google and Meta and whatever development company are constantly evolving and constantly delivering you small bits and pieces of the upgraded system, and it has caught track everywhere. So that usually, so my company, so what was our error or our mistake? We were really fine with doing the continuous integration and continuous delivery. What we missed was the continuous exploration part, which is kind of seems obvious, but the exploration part is the one where the agile is should be and should prove to be strongest. So the continuous exploration is all about inventing and trying out new things that have never been done before, things that people told you will not work actually, but you need to be sure to test it, and you need to be safe to be able to test it, to know why it does not work and why the solution that you are currently managing is probably better. And you're not going to make decision to moving to the other directions. We were talking about all of this time. We were talking about the change, about the strategy, and how the change enters and hits us, like the technology change. And this is where the continuous exploration is sort of like a failsafe for the guys in the technologies in the business. They say, okay, I have to keep my eye out and look on the look. I have to be on the look on the new trends, new technologies, new ways of approaching customer. It can be anything. It can be something as simple like digitizing the part of the process, or automating the part of the process that is really boring, or not adding value to the customer in the end, but has to be done due to some compliance or due to some regulation that is really strict about it. So continuous exploration is, I think, the the best, or the best thing that Agile can provide you in the change management. So if you continuously deliver, so you have teams that are delivering, that are making some sort of code, that are building some sort of boxes. Those boxes need to be shifted or moved to their place, and to the other storages, or for instance in the other servers, where it will serve their purpose, and need to be updated. And people in the IT business, in the product development business, are continuously delivering the change. So delivering a design change, delivering the product specification, being sure about the compliance issues that are ever evolving in the European Union, etc. So, in order to do so, and not to explore the other possibilities that exist in the market, it's like signing a death warrant. So, if you do not move, if you do not accept the innovation part of an industry, you will definitely someone will, and you will die. In the end, you will die. You will be drained out of your resources. Nobody will want to work for your company, and your profits will plummet because your service will go to bust in like. mm, it has happened overnight for some companies in the Croatian market. It has happened for really for over the night. So teams need to be able to respond rapidly to innovation. So innovation. Um, all people are sort of tend to be scared about innovation, but innovation can be something as easy as I don't know. Mm, when you start this webinar, for instance, the webinar has asked me, am I sure about my privacy rules, blah blah. But for instance, it would be happy since I'm sort of like a presenter to tell me, okay, test your connection to the presentation and make sure that it's working. So it would really help me to deliver this presentation better, not to think about being on time, being ready 15 minutes before the meeting, just to set up the equipment and see and test if it's working correctly. So innovation is usually something that either prohibits or avoids cost and decreases risk. While staying at the same money or a little less or a little no, but the values actually have to fit. So it has to be calculated and tracked. So does the innovation actually bring the value to the customer or to the process or no? In the high quality software and high quality high performing company that are delivering software of high quality, you need to be aware of the operational bottlenecks and the costs that are caused by it. Everybody in the company wants to have the last say in something in everything, but in the end, only some people need to say and give the teams the liberty and freedom actually to explore their own way in delivering the best product. What actually I already mentioned. So since we are living in the digital age, and while I was working with my previous employer, we were having a project with the Formula One team, Red Bull, which was kind of mind blowing for me. I used to follow up on the Formula One while I was kid, and it became boring. When I was in high school, usually the races were on Sunday, and I used them to pacify myself and sleep. So you see the start of the race, fall asleep, and then wake up, and that's the last couple of laps, and you see who's winning. This is actually the idea of what I had of this industry, of this business. I was not aware about what was going on with the Red Bull and who the Red Bull actually were. And we had a project. We wanted to implement something called digital twins, and the structural and industrial engineering way of doing the continuous integration, continuous development is the simultaneous engineering. Well, the guys from the product design are working closely with the teams downstream that are designing the tooling for and designing the process around the product. In order to facilitate millions of pieces, you need to have product, you need to have product design, and you need to be able to manufacture those kind of numbers. And for this, you need the process and the proper tooling. We were working with a really complex, struggling with a really complex product, and also with a more complex production line that is needed to deliver this product. So we turned to our partners in our digital world, and they took us to Red Bull, where we had a chance talk to the chief product lifecycle manager. This was actually PLM guy, product lifecycle management guy. But actually he was like a change manager for producing or managing the changes on all of these nice vehicles that you can see on my slides. So each of those vehicles, it was he drove us through the story just trying to set the stage about the what's the environment that they were actually working. So when they first Red Bull when they first bought the company was bought for €1 and 200 million euros debt. This was the price. This was the price that needed to be paid. Plus, the first year and the budget is really controlled in the Formula One. Not only the financial one, but also the time one. So there are some issues with the time and the testing and the availability of the tracks. They had a budget of 400 million euros, which was set by the standard. So nobody can spend more than this. And they had quite an obsolete and non-competitive machine. So the owners told them, okay, uh, take your time, do the development, combine, use, fine tune. You have the process already, but it's really on the old technology. So he was really in charge of employing technological gains and how to include something that's called, we're living in a digital world, it's something that's called digital twin for every part of the vehicle and for the vehicle for it as a whole. For instance, you have digital. This is sort of understood, but it's not actually. I was not aware how it's actually done. But so every piece on this car, and it has around 11,000, 12,000 different pieces that need to be combined and connected together and all need to fit and all need to fit really tight. They are going through mainly changes in their design throughout the year, throughout the 54 weeks. They do over 2,000 changes on each part. So each part gets changed 2000. It can be a small change. It can be just like some finishing on the part or so, or maybe the details on the coloring, or even the change of the materials, which is like a structural material can be really affecting everybody. But in the end, when the car needs to come together, everybody should be aware about their environment will their part. So each of the parts has their manager, has a person responsible for it. It's sort of like atomizing the product into even small products and managing the change through atomization of those changes. So for instance, if you see the wheel, you have a guy that is responsible for the whole wheel. But also there's the connection part, there is the shaft, there is the tires, there is the materials of the tires. And this is not all. So they are really working in the highly competitive industry where milliseconds, so one thousandths of a second, are really important on the track. And the tracks are not the same. So this was also wow. They are not the same. So they are. So when we asked them what does it mean, so the tracks are not the same. So you see each of those cars has like a 30% difference from the car that was used on the other race. So for instance, Abu Dhabi has high heat, sort of like Las Vegas, but not like Las Vegas. It can have flash floods, and the tarmac is really different. And for some reason, and for the exploration reasons, the guys in the engineering developed a type of car that is really fitting this track, and it's fitting each. We have, or then they have 24 races. Like it's every 2 weeks there is a race going on, and they have to carry on the changes that has been done on the product side. They need to also address it to the tools that are needed to fit the part, to each of those boxes where they sit. The tools need to be able to fit. and not cause problems with the other tools. So really a lot of optimization and a lot of deep thinking about their process was taking place. Most of it was done digitally. Most of it was done, trialed, rehearsed digitally, like millions of times. And this is really the cheapest, sort of like a cheapest way. It's not cheap to have digital twin, of course, but the cheapest way to go through your testing and development project. Part of the project is by using the digital tools when available. We have like 10 minutes for the conclusion and Q&A. So I'm really trying to be on time and not to waste your time. So conclusion, I guess it's obvious. So I've been talking about it for an hour. If I did not convince you, please talk to Ina again. So fostering agile and being agile and adopting the agile change management is crucial for the organization. So we are all living in the parts in our environments that are constantly changing and evolving. Like Charles Darwin that said, we are only the last that survived all of the previous versions, and we will be surpassed by the versions that will adapt to the future and to the environment better. We are now in the pinnacle, like the apex predators, but we may not be for long for a long time. So use your brains, and the company should use the brains and the brain power and the freedom that they have, and give the teams freedom to decide and to explore and to build the world as we all want it actually. So I'm like 9 minutes till the end. I'm opening the Q&A session if I
Yeah.
got some questions.
Thank you, Kresha, for very interesting and inspiring presentation. I believe that we have a lot of questions in our minds. I have a few, but let's start with the questions from the audience.
Yes.
First one, I don't know if you can also see the questions.
No, no, I have to do something. It's
You
somewhere. It's in the
go
chat.
down, there's Q&A.
Yeah, it's Q&A. Okay. Okay.
You see it or I should read it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, I
Okay.
will read it for the rest of the audience. In a high complex project environment, how do you address and assign risks to relevant teams? For instance, if you're in automotive industry, surveys show that within the X timeline from fiscal year this and that, components that were shipped were the most faulty equipment that led to less accuracy in detecting environments like sensors weren't really reliable. How
Mhm.
does agile change management take place in fast-paced environment where technology shift is rapid?
So,
Uh,
okay.
for
So
example,
automotive. Yeah.
process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I start? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So automotive. I was thinking automotive was really innovative and really fast-moving industry. Apparently not. Apparently they're 150 years old, and they have high competition between IATF, which is one of the standards that is guiding the American automotive industry, and VDA, honest, Verbund Deutsche Automotive, that is
Volkswagen.
also, huh?
Mhm.
They're
Volkswagen.
all, yeah. So those are two mostly interested in competing parties in the area of managing change and delivering the product. So there is a process actually behind it. So there are not only one process, but for instance, if you have failures that are causing damages, then that can cause lives and actually take lives, which is a really serious thing. You need to have something like a robust process. There is always one person in the company that is responsible in the end for this. So actually two. First is the general manager of the company, which is overall responsible for all the faults and for all the money that's gonna come out of the company's pocket. And you have the chief quality officer, so the guy who is managing the outgoing quality of the goods and merchandise that leaves your shop floor. So once he gets alerted to this, that there is a survey and there is something, the engineers have come to the parts through the R&D and got back from the market faulty parts and analyzed, yeah, we need to change this. It will be changed. It will be changed. It will be changed like in normal process. So there will be investigative procedure, something in the line of Six Sigma and default management, where they will find and see the actual impact of the of this occurrence. It can be, I don't know, faulty tire. I'm going trying to be really plastic about it. So the faulty tire in the end can result in a couple of ways. First, it can be okay, procurement, buy better tires, which is like the obvious answer. Or the other thing is, hey, you guys who are designing the plate, maybe you're designing it or you're not milling it in a good enough, so you need to improve on your tooling and then assign to the tool guys, okay, your tooling needs to be sharpened better in order to deliver a product on the quality. So there is there is a structured process. My whole life I've been struggling with this oxymoron, structure for flexibility, and actually it works. There is a structure. You have to be flexible, but the structure is what gives you the power and the leverage to move mountains, to move high loads and huge scale. Um, so what could go wrong? So everything you said, what can be wrong? So the process, the people, the product, the material, everything can be wrong. So while assuming that everything is wrong, and having one person in charge in the automotive, actually, it brings clarity. So this guy, the general manager, will suffer financial losses, but the chief quality guy in the United States will go to jail, and nobody wants to go to jail.
Okay.
If you sign off on a
It's
card that
really
kills,
plastically,
yeah,
okay.
so it's really plastic. So Americans are really plastic about it, and the Europeans are issuing long-term sentences, but you get the drift. So there is a responsibility, especially in the automotive industry. 4 minutes. Next question.
Yes, the next question is actually a follow-up question also for Shumik.
Mhm.
In a digital twin system, which phase of the project is considered risk? Like, is it design phase, prototype phase, or which part of project risk monitoring phase does it create impact?
Okay, so using tools, you're only mitigating risks of increased cost and decreased failure. For instance, in the digital twin world, in this example that I was telling about, um, there is a total digital twin that has all the materials, that has all the structure points, all of the joints, all of the axles, all of the fluids connected in one data model. Let's call it like a data model because it is actually data behind it. Connected and interfaced with a bunch of tests that need to be performed with with the design actually. In the automotive, we are using the V model for the design. So once you design a feature, you have to design or think about how you're going to test it. And as you drill down on the details of the development, you are also progressing on developing of the test cases that you will confirm what you are actually doing. This is the activity that is used to de-risk stuff. So the V model showing you. So when a business says, I want this button, okay, when I click it, it needs to go ping. So how will you test it? You see, you have to have a person or a microphone that will hear this ping. So and this will sort of develop a test, and then say, okay, when I push this, yeah, it need to be 23,000 hertz. Then you have to think which mic is enough and how will I test it? Yeah. Uh, Okay, so we
I
are trying to
yeah,
so using the different strategies. You're always trying to de-risk stuff. So in the prototype phase, you want to reach the prototype phase really fast. And in the automotive, you have like four phases of prototypes: A, B, C, D. So A prototype would actually mean, okay, it works. I have two batteries and I have a switch and the light. When I turn on the switch, there is a bulb and the light goes bling. And if I want to put this in the car, you have to develop something like a chassis. You have to have, they have water resistance. You have to have really a lot of stuff that you need to test do or be able to confirm, and not only digitally but also physically, empirically, that it will not burn, that it will shatter in the right direction, that it will not damage the passengers, that it will not cause fire in the other in the because it's too close to the fuel line, etc. So all of these risks, somebody's taking care about it. Usually in the automotive industry, it's the quality assurance guys. It's the guys in the QA that are dealing with this and following through with a set of Lean Six Sigma processes to deliver. Those processes usually or can start different projects, and then through the projects you're mitigating risks of actually getting something delivered, etc., etc. So all life, everything you have to de-risk it. So and then the Americans, they usually say if you have 99% chance of success and 1% of failure, and there is 1% that you pay for the premium for to ensure that the 99% is going to happen, you're going to pay it. Yeah. So you should be ensured that whatever you do actually brings you afloat, and you do not suffer or get killed in the in the way.
Okay. So
Okay.
I guess I hope that you answer the question and that now we are all on the same page. Actually, I have also one question for the end. You mentioned that the Darwin and that we're all actually part of this evolution.
Yes.
What do you think these new agile ways of working, are they applicable for all generations, like Generation X, Millennials, Gen Z, or is it just
Ah.
now a buzzword?
No, 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 no. I believe that. So
I mean, you're obviously not the Generation Z.
no, no. There is also one David Bowie song that I really love. It's called Changes, and there is a verse that says the kids are think talking about the change that you old people are not even aware of. So I guess that it's sort of built into our DNA to change and to adapt, to accommodate to the environment. So we are now no longer monkeys that need hair to be warm. We can turn on the heating in our places, and this sort of liberates us to develop and to try to find out answers in this imaginative world. And it's brought us really some fine achievements, like all the digital is invented. It does not even exist. So, but it's become really, really a top of the priority of all the companies to have something digital. I mean, Coca-Cola has to have a digital companion app. Come on, it's fucking Coca-Cola. Does it need to have a digital app to tell me, hey, yeah, I like that you're drinking Coca-Cola, have another one? No, I don't. But some guys in the marketing said, okay, I need to have digital, and in the recent words, need to be called something AI. So
Yeah.
AI needs to be really, really involved. We are mine in this generation of the Google, so we were really amazed if you just type something and you do not have to call on the phone on the 985 and have a nice lady read you the encyclopedia. You can write it, and it's impersonal, and you can ask anything. It was wow, and I can only imagine what kids that are born into this digital age, what they are going to invent, and what the boundary and what the next frontier for them is.
We can only dream about it and imagine. Hopefully, medicine will involve also that we will also be
So
alive
I
to see it and
I
experience.
agree. Thank
Uh,
you.
Kresho, thank you very much for this very interesting presentation. I guess we are just in time to finish. If anybody has to have any Q&As, feel free to contact me or Kresho, and we will reply to you in time. So once again, thank you for sharing this and for having very nice afternoon. Thanks
Thank you,
to
Ina. Thank you,
everybody,
guys.
and thanks to the audience for their questions. I wish you a great day and hot summer. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.